If I was the sinner, would you be the preacher? Would you be my dun-dun-dun-dun? I still got a lot of shit to learn, I'll admit it.
Hey guys, what's up? It's Now here, and today I have it's like a history of Vendetta. And if you guys don't know, you probably do. Vendetta's a faction that I run, and a lot of you guys don't know really where we came from and how we started and stuff like that. So before I start all that, this picture you guys see on screen is something I made. It's really not I wouldn't say special to me, but it's really cool for me because it shows like all these people on the screen now I consider friends, and a couple of them I really actually want to meet in real life one day. So that's really cool for me. So if you guys want this picture, it'll be down below in the description. I don't know what you're gonna do with it, but all the people in this picture who I haven't given this to yet might want it. So if you guys want it as well, it's down there. But let's get started. So I want to start like how I started and where I started factions. So one of my favorite YouTubers back around 2012-ish was Woody's Gamertag, and if you guys don't know, he came out with a server called Woodycraft, and I started watching his Minecraft streams. This is before I even built a computer, and I saw factions. I thought it was really fun. I moved on to other channels who were big at the time, and other streamers who did stuff like that, like Mark Paintball, stuff like that. And I thought that was really cool. So as soon as I got a computer that could run Minecraft, I got on Woodycraft. I built my own little one wall underground obby base. Everyone starts out as a noob, and I had fun with that. And I got Seth into it, and at the time Seth was playing on a server called Dancraft, and Dancraft's a lot different. He was playing with a bunch of his friends, and we didn't really play Minecraft together at the time because on his computer Woodycraft like lagged because it was a bigger server than Dancraft, and so I played on my own. And I met a couple guys named Assault Drone and Hazza, and Assault Drone. We had our times where we were really good friends, and he turned out to kind of be a dick to me, and I was a dick to him. So we kind of went our separate ways. And Harrison kind of followed Assault Drone because they've been friends for multiple years, and I don't really blame him because I was just a little kid. I wasn't like a little kid, but compared to them, they were all 16, 17. I was like 13 at the time, so I was the younger kid in the group. So obviously, when I decided to leave, he wasn't gonna follow me, but I still talk to Hazza every great once in a while. He's still a great guy. Harrison's awesome. Postal came play with me on Woodycraft for a bit, and we played with those guys. And Harrison, I still love that guy. And Don as well was the game name. I think his name was Dan. And Don was awesome as well. He was best friends with Harrison, and those guys were always really nice to me and stuff like that. And that's how I kind of started my factions career. Me and Postal started hardcore because if you guys don't know, Woodycraft is a really really hardcore server with really really good players on it. And so we started at hardcore. We made a couple bases. We kind of just lived underground and just kind of played casually, and it was fun. After Woodycraft reset, we decided to go to Dancraft, where Seth played, and that server was really where I got good at PvP, because what it was is it was a Gapple PvP server, and if you bought a kit, the most expensive kit would give you 2 sets of Prot 4, Unbreaking 3, like a half a stack of Gapples, a sword and axe, like the whole 9 yards, and it only cost like 20 bucks is like the top kit. I got it on sale. And so I bought it, and I had just dubs of gear. And the best thing is you could slash fix unlimitedly, and you could do it in combat. So really all you had to bring is a set, 2 sets, and have one in your inventory, or one in your hotbar, and then one on, and you just switch them out. And charging gapples out of the way, because you could bring a stack of gapples and then pretty much never run out. We had over a double gapples at the time. And so I would just go, and like at the time, I swear those kids didn't have fingers. Like some of you guys who are actually really good at PvP know there are some kids on Arkham who are just insanely bad at PvP. There are some really really good PvPers. Like in the bigger factions, there are some extremely good PvPers in those. But just out like in kit PvP and stuff like that, there are some extremely horrible kids at PvP on Arkham. But those kids would have destroyed on Dancraft. Like Dancraft is still a noob server, and like I brought Harrison with me from Woodycraft, and pretty much he came up with the expression, "I don't think these kids have fingers." And I would just go in alone with a bunch of gapples on me and just go fight 2v1s on purpose just to like get better. And that's where I got from a bad PvPer to a really good PvPer. And not really good, not really really good, but good as I am today. And then Dancraft reset, and I did a lot of things differently, and so we decided to go. And so one night I woke up, and not one night, one morning, and it was in the middle of summer. It was about 8 a.m. and Postal calls me, and he's like, if you guys don't know, Postal is my cousin, so that's how we met. We met at birth, pretty much. He's 1 year younger than me. He's 11 months younger than me. And so he calls me one morning, and he's like, "Yo, get on! I found a cool server." And so I got on Arkham, and it was the first time I've ever played. And we actually found like he was finding like underground raids and stuff like that, entities and stuff like that, and just like random stuff. Like he found a couple sky bases that day, and he pretty much had stacks of gear on the first day. And we found a sky vault with people online, and I actually posted that video on my channel. That'll be down below in the description as well. Um, so we rated that and I got a bunch of gear, and we loved it. We loved the warps. We loved everything about that server. We loved the drop parties and stuff like that, and we thought it was the funnest server ever. So we decided to buy some ranks and start playing over the summer. And then we created the faction called Remax, and Remax had been a name that Postal had used on his factions forever. Um, I'd had different names from Woodycraft, but he decided to go with Remax, and sooner or later we decided to change that, because if you guys don't know, Remax is a rental or a real estate company, so I didn't really want to steal their name and get copyright struck or something stupid. So, but for the time being, our faction name was Remax, and you guys might remember this. I have a screenshot. I might put that down below in the description too if I remember. But we have a trap at Warp Desert with over the top it says Remax, and it looked really cool. That's why I love warps, because you can make traps look so cool. And so we had Remax, right? And so one day in chat we were just like screwing around like, hey, anybody want to be our truce? And a guy messaged me named Acid Bangering, and Acid, he's the leader of, I think it's Unrelentless or something like that. Maybe it was just Relentless. Yeah, I think it was just Relentless. And we decided to truce. And then one day we were PvPing at Warp Desert, and Acid messaged us. He's like, you guys got Skype? We're like, yeah, we're on a call right now. So he calls me, and he's in a call with a guy named Casey. So if you guys don't know Casey, he doesn't really talk much in the videos anymore because his mic's kind of broken. But he is Irish, and he is hilarious. Every time him and Seth are on a call together, Postal's just in tears because he's just so funny. Casey's awesome. He's so chill. He's so loyal, and he's just amazing. He's still with us nowadays. So we decided to merge. All those guys joined our faction, and then in the next couple days we built a 5-wall sky base, and it became pretty rich. You know, we got a lot of stuff out of there. We had dubs of gear in there. It was just a little 5-wall sky base, and we had like a couple creeper spawners up and stuff like that. It was pretty nice. And this is before I started making videos in Arkham. And then we find a guy named Granomir, and Granomir was a truce of Acids and Relentless, and he's playing with a guy named Kevin. And so we decided, well, if we're going to make this faction bigger, we're going to need a base for everyone to live in, not just a couple recruits living in that tiny sky base. And Granomir decided to give us his base, which was pretty big for the time. So we all came with Granomir. We started decorating the base and stuff like that. And Granomir, if you guys don't know, I hope you do. Granomir is probably my best friend I've ever met on the internet. If you guys don't know, his name's Brandon, and he's awesome. I would love to meet him in real life one day. He's my best friend I've ever met on the internet. We don't just play Minecraft together. We play whatever we're playing. We play together. And so we joined their base, and we started decorating it. And Paradox found this base, and little did we know, it was only one wall. So obviously Paradox split the base, and they raided it. There's nothing inside, but that was the first time we ever come in contact with Paradox. And then unlucky us, the next few days, Paradox glitched into our 5-wall sky base. Yeah, that's right, folks. Paradox, the best faction that you guys have ever heard of, because you guys haven't played in any real faction servers, glitched into a 5-wall sky base because they couldn't raid it. So there you go, folks. Best faction. So they raided that, and so we moved, all 5 of us, we moved into a sky base. And this sky base was rich. We must have had 25, 30 dubs up in that sky base. And all we would do is go to warps and spawn and just PvP. And there would be 5 to 10 of us online, and we came up with a thing called Remax OP. And we would all just spam it in chat at the same exact time. 1, 2, 3. We all hit the button. Everyone would say Remax OP. And it was a great time. I love those days. And then we meet a dude named Dice Penguin, and he messaged me on one of the videos that we were making at the time, and he's like, "Yo, can I join your faction?" And we got him in the faction and stuff like that. And he got his nickname, not really a nickname, but kind of a tagline, as the worst background noise in Minecraft. This kid, whether it be trucks driving through his front lawn, or his mom screaming, or his sister crying, or a TV blaring The Office in the background, or a printer going off, whatever it may be. He had the worst background noise, and he was in the faction for the longest time. He's not playing with it anymore. He started playing CS:GO and stuff like that now. I won't even get into that, but he was great. So Arkham reset after that skywall or 5 wall sky base and the sky base 5 wall base, and then the sky base we had, and then I acid brought in some guy named AJ, and so AJ was our little buddy. He at first he didn't talk much. He was only like 12. He didn't talk much because he was kind of shy, but he was loyal and he was funny at times. And then we actually started to see him grow up a little bit, and he started talking more in chat, and he learned how to shit talk a little bit, which made me super proud. And he got really good at PvP. And AJ, he changed his name to It's Fucking AJ, which made me so happy. And I haven't talked to him in a while now, and I wish he would come back because that guy, I miss that kid. So we made our first Titan base this map, and it was like a 20 wall base. It was really nothing special, and that base actually ended up getting insided by some random dude. He gave us a TP to like one of the bigger factions, and we insided him, and we let him join the faction. He somehow got out of his obby box and took like 12 dubs from us or something like that, and a bunch of cow spawners and stuff like that. And so we decided that we were going to build a new a new base. So I actually have a video. I did a video on this one. It was all with the corner pillars and wraps and stuff like that. And we did that, and we got a truce to Uprising during that time, and we got a truce to My Own during that time, and we actually started pulling in some dough. We got the creeper spawners up. We got a couple of IGs up. And then we met Genocide, and we got a truce with them. And sooner or later, Genocide was super OP. They had like 120 walls in their base or something like that, which at the time was a lot. And so Genocide was pretty much consistent to me. The people I talked to was My Ruler, Bronze Star, and Doing Doritos. And Doritos, he changed his name so many times. Horny Dew. And they actually had a guy in the faction named King Chicken. And sooner or later, and Lake Flyers. Lake Flyers is in that faction too. I forgot about that. Sooner or later, Lake Flyers insided them, and the faction kind of split up. They blamed King for inciting, which he never did, but they thought he was in with Lake, and so King came to us, and we got King in the base, in this little 20 wall base, and he started helping us out, and then we decided to move out of the base because it was extremely small, and we were losing space with the more members we were gaining. And we decided to make the corner base. And everyone knows about the corner base if you watch any of my videos. And we met a guy named Superman, and if you guys don't know Super, he is probably one of the best faction players in our faction. He's super knowledgeable, he's super smart about factions. He can be a dumbass sometimes. Like, he has put up IGs in like unclaimed bases just to get some money. And at the time, and there's some things I look down about Super, but at the end of the day, he's one of the best factions players we have. He's determined as hell, and he's loyal. At first, we didn't think he was going to be loyal, and then, he stuck with us for the longest time. So, we had the corner base, and as you guys know how that ended, Paradox raided through 6 walls. We wanted to make a corner base just to see if we could, and we had to claim like 6 walls away from our base by Raventail, and Raventail was a dead faction. But one of the members from Raventail got on, and Paradox pretty much killed them over and over again and overclaimed and split through like 6 walls. Snooki said it was like 10 or something stupid, but it was like 6. And he split through like 6 walls and went through the base of the 40 stacker. And the next day he was talking mad shit like, "Oh yeah, I get split. I straight up split this base." I was like, "No, you didn't. You went through 6 walls, not 125, which we had on the base." And so that base got raided. They didn't really get anything. We took down all our spawners. They might have got like creeper out of it or something stupid, and like maybe 10 dubs of gear, but at the time we had like probably 60. And about this time we got a truce with Mythology. Superman got us a truce with Mythology, and we met Monster and Hockey. And Monster, when you first meet him, if you guys have never been in a call with him, he's a scary dude. He's really cool once you get to know him, and he's really chill, and he's really smart about factions. But Monster, he threatens you with things other people can't threaten you about. Like, he has the power to split your base. He has the power, like, he can be intimidating. Like if you cross him, you know you'll regret it. And so we never have. um, but we got to choose his mythology, and those guys started helping us out. And Hockey, who's in the faction now, he was in mythology. And when Hockey left to join our faction, there was no ill will about that. He just kind of wanted to join a new faction, so he came with us. And we got into a new base after the corner base got raided. And pretty much how this happened is we just were flying around, and we found a nice 40 wall base. But the thing was, their obby box was only like 20 blocks tall, and it was unclaimed. So we just kind of moved in below the obby box. We built around the obby box, just moved in, claimed it, and we actually got about 55 IGs up in that base. And Paradox wasn't really playing at the time. They were targeting like my own earlier in the faction, earlier in the map. My own actually got up to like over 100 IGs, I think. And so Paradox was targeting them hardcore, and they actually did get raided. Paradox lagged out the server so bad that they just split through all the walls like they were dry, to my knowledge. That's what happened. I can't confirm that or deny that. That's what I was told, is they made the TPS go so low that water didn't even matter anymore, and they just split through all the walls. But pretty much at this time, Paradox had like 400 IGs or something stupid. And we were up to about 50 or 60 IGs in the space, the one we just randomly moved into. And we had all the guys playing, and it was a good time. It was probably my best time at factions. We were just PvPing and screwing around. And then we realized the space we moved into and didn't build a wall of ourselves had a big exploit. The walls on the north side of the base, which was up against world border, was actually like one away from the border, and our base was right up against border. So Lake Flyers came along, and he pretty much shot right down the side of the world border, past all our walls, went through like one cobblestone wall, one obby wall, and got a crap ton of IGs. Which was then later raided by Paradox because Lake apparently forgot to water one of the interior walls of his base, and Paradox just cracked in and got like 100 IGs or something off of them. And that's how Paradox got to the big 500 number of IGs. Or maybe it was 400, I don't really remember. But pretty much those are all ours. And after that, map reset very soon after, so it wasn't like we were salty about it or anything. And now we're here. So this map, super open new server. We were working on that, and a bunch of the guys we met through that. TPF Logan actually messaged me through my channel and got in the faction. Legit Tuna, 13 fights we found on Dancraft. Legit Tuna, Mr. Crunchy, Fabled Sword. All those guys come from, and UK Basketball. UK Basketball's been and Crazy Duck. Those have all been longtime friends of Super, and they kind of came back into the community when Super started the Minecraft server. We got those all guys in the faction, created the 40 wall base. We took down that 40 wall base because it was kind of trashy. Like we didn't like do trays or anything correctly. So we moved to a new base, which we had 160 walls on one side, about like 50 on the other two, and we started getting lazy. I just didn't really care about factions anymore, and I was getting really bored. I upgraded my computer. A couple of my really close IRL friends got computers, so we started playing more games besides just Minecraft. I kind of lost interest, so we stopped working on the base, and we ended up getting left shot by Cyanide and Rip. So to my knowledge, it was the first left shoot raid on Arkham, so GDD guys. I think it was get swatted to 230 left. I could be wrong about that, but I think that's what they used. In a previous video I said it was a 40 stacker left, but I know that's wrong now talking to the Rip and Cyanide guys. So after we got raided, a couple days later, we talked to Mythology. It turned out they got raided as well. So they had their faction on F open to get more power, and then some faction, I don't think they play anymore, they got enough people in the faction, and they got them all to -10, and Mythology got overclaimed, lost a bunch of creepers and stuff like that. So we decided to join factions for a couple different reasons. One, Mythology was losing active players, and Vendetta had that. And Mythology had more power, like more influence than Vendetta did. And I felt like we were kind of falling behind. So I felt like if we merged factions, it would help us both. So we did, and we actually had that base up that you guys saw the base tours on. We've only had one base in Mythology when we joined. And we genned the first 20 wraps or something like that, plus the sand walls and the cactus walls in one night. And then the next night, it was a Saturday night. Or no, it was a Friday night. We genned the rest of the 160 walls on each side in one night. And that was all me, Super, King, UK, and Monster. I think Granimir might have done some too. And so we did all those wraps and all those walls in one night, which is a pretty big feat, plus all the slab trades and stuff like that. So we obviously got really rich in this base. we gained a lot of power. Rip was going around raiding everybody in the server. They also raided Paradox and stuff like that, and Paradox, I've been fighting back and stuff like that. And we had an on and off truce with Paradox until Snooky tried to build an autocannon outside of our base. That's a whole other story. So eventually, Rip decided they were going to raid us. We kind of all left. My computer broke. The rest of the guys either went to Psycho or Archon Silver. I think it was Silver or Chrome, one of the two, but that reset, so they all decided to go on there. My computer was broken, and so we took down all the spawners, and the next couple of days, Rip raided us with another left shooter, and that's actually up on somebody's channel, I don't really remember. But they raided us with left shooter. They didn't get any spawners. They might have got like a cow or something like that. But they pretty much just cragged all of our chest, and we didn't really care because we had quit, and they didn't get any spawners regardless. So we still had over a stack creeper. We still do, somewhere in someone's PV. And so that's kind of where we're at now. So on Arkham anyway, the factions kind of split up, stuff like that. So on Arkham Silver, I'm gonna show you guys a screenshot from our base that we had. We had a corner base. It was Silver or Chrome. I'm gonna get this wrong, but on Archon, we had a corner base. They had a big fight with, I think it was Great Applesauce, maybe someone like that. I don't remember who. It was some YouTuber on the server. And then for whatever reason, there was a big fight between Super and Monster, and Super insided. So he didn't inside me. We're still friends like that. He insided Monster, and Monster pretty much retaliated. Sent him pizzas, cussed him out, said he's gonna swat him, whatever. And he wouldn't swat him. Monster just wouldn't do that. But he was doing a whole bunch of shit, and he pretty much split up the faction. And some people followed him, some people stayed with Monster. Skittles kind of stayed out of it. UK and King went to Psycho. Monster, I have no idea what's going on. Super, Grand, myself, Postal. We're all playing a lot of different games. CSGO, League, Rocket League, Unturned, Daisy, H1Z1, stuff like that. So we're all playing different games now. We're still talking a lot and stuff like that. But Mythology got disbanded. It's on an alt right now. Stuff like that. So yeah, that's where we're at right now. The whole faction's kind of split up. That's why I kind of want to do this video, just to remind everybody where we came from. And because I don't know if the faction's going to come back together. I'm really hoping it is. I'm going to try my hardest to go on OKMC, which is David's server, no one knows. And I'm going to try to get the faction back together, at least a majority of the faction back together. So if you guys learned anything from this video about us, make sure to hit that like button. Thank you guys so much for 500 subs. I hope you guys liked the video and learned something. Had a laugh or whatever. I put a lot of time into this video, and yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. So if you did, make sure to leave a like once again, and subscribe if you have not already. Thank you guys so much for 500 subs, and I'm out. Peace.